How's everybody doing tonight? Yes, you've come across another episode of the man behind Mr. CJ Sports. Tell you what, it's been a while. It's been a real long while. For those that have never caught an episode of the man behind Mr. CJ Sports, basically it is an opportunity for me to be able to bring you a more personal side of myself and kind of give you an opportunity to get to know the CEO and founder of the 110 Nation and what's going on behind the scenes and in the making of the 110 Nation and the what's, you know, some of the stories and some of the stuff that's happened and stuff that's going on now, and then of course where we want to be. And so it's just an opportunity. It was supposed to be a 30-minute thing, a couple times a week, and there for a while we did. And if you want to hear some really cool stories about the making of the 110 Nation and the making of Mr. CJ Sports, you need to go back and catch prior episodes of the man behind Mr. CJ Sports. But I'm back. I'm actually live on my birthday doing this. It is February 27th. It's my birthday. So it's a little insight that you get to know about myself. Had to, even though I got into this new location just the middle of last month, we had some disagreements in our relationship, so I found myself packing this weekend, and I'll be moving. So get to do all that for my weekend or for my birthday, but it is what it is. So just one had an opportunity now that Monday I will be in my new location, and we'll be able to spend more time being focused on the 110 Nation and myself and my children also, but we'll have more time. So there will be quite a few episodes weekly of the man behind Mr. CJ Sports. It'll probably be one of those things. It's kind of a almost nightly thing because I'm about to have a lot of free time, and so I want to use that to start reconnecting. Because, like I said, this whole man behind Mr. CJ Sports was an opportunity for me to be different from all the rest of the CEOs and let you, kind of have a glass building. In other words, everything be transparent, and you get to know me as a person and what we what we're visualizing and where we want to be and what's going on. And I just want to have an opportunity. You invest your time into listening to shows and reading articles and responding on social media. And so I want to take an opportunity away from the shows and away from the articles and away from all that other stuff, and reinvest my time back into those that are investing their time into the 110 Nation and myself. And, so, I got to. I feel obligated. I enjoy doing it, and I enjoy having an opportunity to open up. It's kind of an opportunity for me to be able to, I don't know, kind of get things off my chest, kind of exciting things going on, and, just different milestones. I mean, this last week we hit 800 likes. That was a really cool task, actually. Sunday night, we were shooting for 800. I want to say that we gained some, I don't know, at least 60, 70 that week alone. It was a crazy week because this week we ain't gained none at all. If you've not liked our fan page, go over to 110 Nation Sports and check us out. I think we're at 803. We would really like to hit 1,000. I think that's the next milestone that we really would love to accomplish. It's come a long way. I can remember only having a handful of likes, and I can remember having two different accounts for the 110 Nation. We had the site side and the radio side, and now we just got it all as one big fan page, and a lot of great fans out there, and there's a lot of really cool followers on social media, and it is crazy. More specifically, Facebook, because like I said, we got 803 likes, but I swear it's the same 10, 50 people that make it over there and either comment or like stuff, and it is really cool because it's really nice to see the regulars. I have my regulars where I work at now, at the convenience store I work at now, and had the regulars when I was bouncing. And it was always you was always glad to see those regulars because you knew that you was going to have a conversation that you wanted to have, or it was more fitting versus just talking to strangers. And even though I don't get to have too many conversations with these regulars that stop by the fan page, it's almost like I get to expect it and know that I'm going to get some kind of response and some kind of reaction, and it's almost my same way of being able to have these conversations. So it's really cool. Like I said, if you've not checked out our fan page, you got my personal fan page, Mr. CJ Sports, but more specifically, we got the 110 Nation Sports fan page, and make sure you guys go over there and like it and participate. Like we between myself and Chris and Miss Lee, we constantly trying to keep stuff posted over there. So make sure you guys check that out. But I'll tell you what, it's been exciting. Not only that milestone, just to watch the blog sites is we're gaining more and more recognition by different teams, and it's really cool because before the only articles we got were articles either if we found writers or articles that I had wrote, and to go from that to also be able to have press releases where these race teams and stuff are sending us press releases, and it's really cool because it's more solidifying, I guess, to know that these different race teams in NASCAR are more and more of them are viewing us as media outlets and as a media company. And I know that they don't comparison to the Fox Sportses and the ESPNs and NBC Sports, but at least we're being acknowledged as media, and they take the time to include us into their press releases. And so that's something that has been developing over the last couple of weeks since the last time, I had this opportunity to sit down. And so it's really cool because you could see, this, it's like your baby. And I can remember when this baby was born and I had no idea what I was doing. And, I had no idea what I was even signing up for. And to go from that and not even know what a blog and a podcast are, to knowing that we have race teams that are sending us press releases, and we got we had a show we were supposed to have earlier this week, and one of the guests on the show was a young lady from Rev Racing, and I don't know her name off the top of my head, and I just had personal stuff going on, and we was unable to. My daughter and Miss CJ showed up, and so I took time to talk to my daughter and everything, and so we ended up not having the show anyway. But the program that race car driver came from, Rev Racing, and they didn't know, and they sent us an email apologizing, and so but we understand if you got to move on, and we love your show, and we love how much you do for the program, and it was just really cool to not only we had a point that we're getting press releases from these different teams, but then when one of their athletes don't make the show and there's a miscommunication that they're apologizing, which is not even necessary. It is what it is. They said we didn't even end up having a show that night, but to know that once again, one more, it's kind of like, like I said, this is my baby. So it's like another tooth came in, or He's hit another milestone, and he's walking or something. That's kind of how I see things, and us being part of this I-95 network and watching it not take away from our listeners, but help us continuously grow to know that this right here, February, since our return, this is going to be our biggest month when it comes to platforms that I can actually get stats from and know the statistics of it. And to know that overall, I went from sitting in a add-on room that was our office and whispering and nervous about doing a 15-minute show to knowing that day started something where now, counting every different avenue that we have in platforms, that we have a couple 100,000 listeners a month. Like, you just can't imagine what it's like. And I gotta thank everybody. There's 6 of us holding this down, and those 5 other people, one, I got to thank from the bottom of my heart to know that 5 of us are able to reach so many different listeners, readers, and fans, and it runs smooth. We've talked about this quite a few times, Miss Lee and myself, and Chris from the Dirt Talk Hour show, and myself. And I've even had this conversation with Shorty before, while we were still talking about sports stuff. And it really blows my mind to know that 6 of us run this smoothly. Everybody kind of knows their position. And what is even more phenomenal about it is not like all 6 people are full time. And I might even be upping in a number. No, there's 6. And of those 6, you got Izzo, who's just 30 minutes talking NHL on Tuesday nights. So that's one person. Damian B and Chris Creighton, who just talk an hour each on Sunday nights. So those 2 people, and they're just an hour apart, or hour of participation into what we're doing. And one, I want to continue what I was going to say about what they do, but also, it's not, I'm talking down or discouraged. It's amazing. It amazes me that we get so much accomplished with so little so far. And Chris also is highly active with the Facebook. I wanted to make sure I include that. And Damian Bean has got his own Facebook. Well, both of them got their own fan pages as well that partake part of the show as well. So Chris is involved with the 110 fan page, plus the Dirt Talk Hour fan page, and the Damian Bean part of the Dirt Talk fan page, and then his own fan page for the Dirt Talk as well. So, I mean, I want to clarify that I'm not just saying that they just an hour and that's it, and that's, but they do hour and then they maintain their Facebook pages. But it was more to the fact that, okay, between 3 people, we're looking at about 2.5 hours, and 2 of them are at the same time because they're on the show together. And then you throw in Steve Billmeyer, who puts an hour and a half, 2 hours with his show, and that's 4 people out of the 6 already. And you're looking at maybe 4.5 hours worth of, technically 3.5, because 2 of them are on the same time, of talk show. And that's 4 people right there. And then you throw in me and Miss Lee, and that's your staff. And yet, we reach through every avenue we have over a couple 100,000 a month. And it blows my mind. I never imagined when I formed all of this, when I created all this, that we would be accomplishing so much with so little, doing so little. And like I said, it's not a shot, but You got to figure 6 people with that much impact. You would assume all of us are putting in 30, 40 hours a week at this. Not 4 people combined, I would say in total for the whole week, maybe 10 hours combined. Counting social media, counting everything. I don't even want to count the hours Miss Lee does, because I'd be willing to bet it's a good 20, 30 hours easily. I don't even want to know, because I feel bad enough as it is with us on a shoestring budget. And then I put in pretty much a full-time job's worth of hours. But it just amazes me how much we accomplish and how many different people we reach with so little, doing so little. I can't imagine what it's going to be like once we get the opportunity to add on another staff member. And for those that are listening to this, knowing what you get to hear and knowing how many people we're reaching, if you're out there and you're interested in joining the 110 Nation, if you got a show you want it resyndicated, if you're out there and you want to be like an Izzo and come on talk about, NFL for 30 minutes a week or twice a week at 30 minutes segments, or even co-host with me on the 110 Nation Sports Show, or maybe you're a journalist, you want to write, all you gotta do is hit me up, mrcjsports@gmail.com. I would love to be able to talk to you and see about getting you on. And I don't like trying to plug all this. While this is kind of my moment to be me. And even though it's about the show and about the company, but it's also about me relating to you guys. And so I hate trying to pitch that on, but and what I was talking about, I can imagine what it's like, what it's going to be like. We get to add another piece. And another month or 2 down the road, be able to add another piece. I mean, as much as I would love to add piece after piece after piece, realistically, I know that it's few far in between, because what little we can offer still at this point. And unfortunately, there's not a lot of people that are out there to be part of the dream. And I'm the type that I take care of those first that help put us where we're at. Miss Lee, Izzo, Damian, Chris, Steve, they all know once we get to a point that we have some kind of income coming in and we got things that need to be, that I can give them, they'll be taken care of. I mean, I've already done, as much as that I could so far. I've tried to, send money a little bit every which direction to try to help take care of things. I have gotten Izzo approved to do Carolina Hurricane games. I got Chris approved to do Memphis Tigers games. I got Steve approved to go to the World of Outlaws. I've got Miss Lee approved to go to Mid-Ohio. I've, as soon as Damian Bean gets some things lined up, I'm going to see what I can get him approved for. Not to mention everything that I've gotten my self-approved for. But unfortunately, we live in a time of the day that there's not that many people out there that want to be part of a dream and establish themselves and, put that as part of their resume of help taking a small company and turn it into a big name. They're more about trying to nickel and dime everybody, and with us being on a penny and nickel kind of budget, it's really difficult. But I know realistically, we can find a person, a month or 2 apart, and hopefully be able to continue to build that way. But I can only imagine, we add one more talented show, or another writer here and another writer there, and how much more, we're going to be putting out, even simply adding a person here and a person there, that it will increase our numbers. I mean, we can already see it this month with having a record-setting month on the platforms I can track. And we might not be, tearing the doors down on the blog site, but our readers have gone from just being, those that jump on the site. And yes, it was nice because it made our numbers look good, when we have a bunch of people to stop through, but when they're only staying for 6 seconds or 21 seconds, there's nothing quality about that. And we're not growing that way. And that's what it was like in December. We had 3 times the traffic at our blog site, but they were barely reading a page, and they were there for 20 seconds. And to go from that to January, we had less than we had this month, but it was even worse. The quality was worse, where it was 6 seconds, and we're getting just at a page. So here we are in February. We might not have been beating down the doors. Yes, we had more visits this month than we had last month, but a third of what we had December. But remember, December we had that 6 or 21 second. 21 second is what it was. 21 second average time per person that stopped on that page or stopped on the site. To this month, we have 4 minutes and 51 second average. Went from barely having 1 page per visit to having almost 2.5 pages per visit. Our new visitor number has decreased. Was not necessarily a good thing, but it's only good if you have the quality. Actually, you want your return to be high. You want your new to be low. We want to continually have our people coming back, the good quality like we've had this month, but know that we're still growing ever so slightly. And so our new visits are going down. We would drop from 99% down to 65%. That means it's flopped 30%, and we're having more and more return visits. We're not just having, oops, I hit the wrong side, or oops, that's not what I wanted. Now we're getting people to come back. And to know all this, and knowing that, all we need is a person here and a person there, just slowly work them in and get them into the 110 Nation ways. We're going to definitely hit that goal, and it hit our goal. And if you're new to the whole 110 Nation, and maybe you've just started listening to the shows, or maybe this is your first show that you've ever listened to. Like I said, I used to do these on a twice, 3 times a week thing, and really got out of it. Now that everything's freed up, and I don't have the obligations, being basically I'm moving and rooming with some other people, and basically almost having the single life. I'm about to have some free time. And this is going to be something that I get back into doing, and like I said, probably almost on a regular basis. If this is, the first episode that you've ever listened to, I hope you take an opportunity to go back. We've had a lot of great guests, a lot of great shows. I could see, and you've not heard our goals. I mean, the goals are, and I was trying to remember what I was getting back to. Oh, it's late. It's almost 1:00 in the morning, and I got to be up. Not only am I doing a show, this is how I'm kicking off my birthday, but on top of that, I got to be at work. I got to get up at 4:30. I got to get up in 3 hours, a little over 3 hours, and spend all day working. And then what makes things worse is when I get off, I'm gonna go spend time with my children. But I still got to get to bed early. I can't really do nothing for my birthday at all because I got to be back in at 5 o'clock Sunday morning. And then, of course, Sunday's the working on packing or moving actual Sunday and Monday. So, but Yeah, the goals here at the 110 Nation, in case you're new to the whole, you have no idea what's going on here. You know, this originally was just something that started off as a way for me to supplement my income. I lost my job, changed to another job that paid me significantly less, and just clicked on an online ad to make money at home. Had no idea what I was signing up for, and it turned from me finding a way to supplement my income, which is never. I've never had an income out of this yet. It has always costed me. I have never made a dime, but we're going to officially change that. But it went from that to the dream is to be in a building, nothing huge, just a building, to have a studio that we're on 24/7, to have a staff that we cover all sports. I mean, idealistically, I'd like to have a writer for every sport and every team and every sport, but realistically, a staff that we can handle covering everything in every sport. And I want to slowly build that up because I want to provide a career for my staff. I don't want to be one of those things that this is your full-time job or part-time job and you have another full or part-time job. Or you got to be stressing that, your wife has to have or husband has to have, a certain amount of hours or a certain amount of this, that, and the other. A job that pays you well enough that if you got to have a second, your wife's got to have a job or her husband's got to have a job. It's, supplementary to what you're doing. It's kind of extras and, that kind of thing. I want to be able to provide careers. And that's kind of what we're looking at here at the 110 Nation and, what my goals are. And, still be highly involved with the charities as we got an event coming up here March 19th. I'm here in Fayetteville, North Carolina, Seek to Destroy Cancer. I'm very excited about being one of the sponsors of that and looking forward to being part of that. And then, of course, we got More Than Just Miles coming up in April 16th, down in Florida, 5K run to raise money for cystic fibrosis. Get to be highly involved with that as well, so looking forward to that as well. But that's what the goals are here at the 110 Nation. So, I don't know, just been an exciting week. I just want to have an opportunity. We're getting close to that 30-minute mark, and I like to keep these right around 30 minutes, not to bore anybody and keep everybody tied up. But I just felt that this was a week with everything's changing. An opportunity for me to get back on here and start doing these again. But just kind of talk about how this week, with us hitting the milestone of 800 likes and the tracking of the blog site and the direction of the great quality readers that we've picked up and that I'm excited about having over there. And knowing that this month we've already had our best month on the radio on the platforms that we can track, and knowing that we are tracking over a couple of 100,000 total a month with everything we have going on, and it just really, a really positive week. And how my goal was to by 40 be able to walk away from the real jobs when I made this goal 5 years ago and never really took it serious. And I really kicked myself in the butt now, thinking about it. Still got 2 more years. Yes, letting my age be told. Turned 38 today. 2 more years. And it's not about me, and it's not about, this all being something so I didn't have to work no more. But reality is, the quicker I could get to a point that I supplement my income and can walk away from my job and give full 24/7 dedication to the 110 Nation, the quicker that I'm able to provide careers for others. That's just the whole cohort fact of it. And 2 years, these next 2 years, I am going to be 110% committed into what we're doing to give the fullest. Now that I'm about to have all this free time and not be consumed with the relationships and the kids and everything else, but just be focused on my kids, my health, and the 110 Nation. I feel really positive about where we're going to be this time next year, and this time when I'm supposed to be able to walk away from my job and be able to retire, and where we're going to be as a company come this end of this year, and how we'll compare to last year. And I'm just very, very excited about all of this, and it just want to have an opportunity to talk to y'all. Hopefully, I say tomorrow because I'm still on the mind frame. It's still the 26th, even though the 27th. I'm hoping to have an opportunity to get back on here. If not, I'll definitely sit down and have another Man Behind Mr. CJ Sports episode come Sunday, and kind of get you guys a little bit more caught up on what's going on, and some of the things that we're looking forward to in the real near future. And maybe part of the segment, I'll pull an oldie but goodie story out, and what some of the mistakes or something that I've done in the past is, I've told some interesting stories about some of the partners, and where the originally it being CJ Sports and to now the 110 Nation, how all that transformed, and where Mr. CJ Sports even come from. So I love telling these stories, and it is crazy. I never thought that I would have something like this where I could sit back and reminisce about some of the stuff we learned, and some of the mistakes I've made, and some of the cool things and funny things and embarrassing things. And here I get that opportunity and get to do it on this platform, and it's just really cool to me. And so I hope you guys enjoyed. I know it's kind of all over the place tonight, but there's just so much going on. It's crazy. Like I said, either back at it again Saturday sometime, or definitely Sunday. We'll get back in the swing of the things, and that way we can, I can go back to reinvesting my time into those that invest their time with us. And just very excited and looking forward to it. And hope you guys have a great night. And if at any time you guys got anything, any suggestions, thoughts, ideas, opinions, whatever the case may be, you want to shoot my way, you can on Twitter at CJ Sports 1. You can on Facebook. Just look up my personal fan page, Mr. CJ Sports. I love having an opportunity to making anything and everything better, and getting your guys' thoughts, ideas. And, like I said, I truly love doing this, and I truly love reinvesting back into those that invest into the company and myself. And it means a lot when, I get messages and get suggestions, and, get interaction with the listeners and the fans out there. So feel free to get a hold of me at any time. Like I said, I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll be back on here soon. You guys have a great night.